Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my flight attendant videos. As you can probably guess from the title, today I'm actually gonna tell you about all of my tips and tricks concerning beating jet lag. So I'm a flight attendant, so you guys can probably imagine that I travel through time zones all the time, and I have actually come up with a few things that I do on every single trip pretty much that prevents jet lag. So basically, whenever I get a jet lag, it's basically my own fault for not sticking to those things, those tips and tricks. So I don't always stick to them, and then the day after I'm like, why didn't you just like do whatever you preach, you know? But anyways, I'm gonna tell you about all those tips and tricks. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that it actually helps you to prevent jet lag in the future. Maybe you can stick to them, like I stick to those tips and tricks most of the time, to be honest, but sometimes I just do other stuff. Or I fall asleep accidentally. That has happened before. So anyways, let's get started. So the first tip that I'm gonna share with you guys is water. You guys need to drink enough water. I can't say that enough. Like even on a flight, I tell all of my colleagues that they have to drink water. So I mean, you can drink juice and stuff, but it's gonna have a lot of sugar, and just water, like plain water, I'm talking about still water. It's just the best thing that you could do for your body, and that's what prevents most of my jet lag, I think. So on board, I'm gonna be drinking water most of the time. So if I get to like a low because I can't eat yet because I'm still passing out food or something, then I'll have a glass of apple juice, but I'll never ever drink like fizzy drinks. I don't drink them at home either, so that's probably why. But they have a lot of sugar, they have a lot of like carbonated water that will make you feel gassy, especially in the air where you usually like you feel bloated and stuff, you know. So that's why I always stay away from like Coca-Cola or Sprite, Fanta, all of those. And then another thing is, I know a lot of people think that caffeine will make them stay awake inside of the plane. Well, that actually might help. Usually like coffee, it kind of dehydrates you, so you shouldn't drink caffeine on a plane. And it kind of messes up your circadian rhythm anyways, you know. So at least on a plane, I think, because you travel through a couple of time zones. So I mean, I don't drink coffee at all, but I try to stay away from like black tea as well, because it's also got like something that makes you more awake. And yeah, that's basically it. So stick to water. And by the way, I know that a glass of red wine or Baileys or whatever can help you fall asleep faster on a plane, but then at the same time, alcohol dehydrates your body. So it's really dry, like the air on board is super dry, which is why you need to hydrate your body with water. And then at the same time, when you're drinking alcohol, it's gonna be the exact opposite. Like you're putting alcohol into your body and it's gonna dehydrate you from the inside. So that's why I never drink alcohol on board of a flight. I mean, I've had a glass of wine on board once. That's it. I was a passenger, just to clarify. But that I did it once, and afterwards I didn't sleep that well. So since then I've never ever been drinking alcohol on board when I was a passenger. I know it's free on some airlines. My airline serves alcohol for free, but even though it is, if you think about your body and what you're doing to your body and you want to prevent jet lag, then I would suggest that you don't drink alcohol on board. And it also helps to stay away from alcohol and caffeine for a while once you actually get to your destination. At least that's my experience, you know. That's what works for me. It might not actually work for you, but it always worked for me. So the first tip is drink enough water and stay hydrated. So on a flight that's 10 hours long, I would probably drink about 1.5 or 2 liters of water. That's about half a gallon, just to make sure everyone understands. So it's really good to stay hydrated. I know you probably have to go to the bathroom more often than not, but that's why I always pick an aisle seat. Yeah, I don't like the window seat at all. I mean, the view is pretty, yeah, but I hate it when I can't get out whenever I have to get out and 2 people are sleeping right next to me. Trick number 2 is actually to sleep before the flight. So I always try to sleep before a flight, and I'll try to get at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep in. So if my flight departs sometime like, let's say at noon, I'll try to sleep till the morning. If my flight actually departs at night, I'll actually try to sleep till the morning, like early morning, and I'll try to get a few hours of shut-eye before the flight. And that way I'm gonna be awake for the flight, but that's my trick actually. So I'm trying to stay awake for the flight. I don't fall asleep, I'll either read a book or watch a movie or work on my laptop, like editing videos and stuff. That's what I do on a plane. And I would actually recommend to not sleep on a plane no matter where you're going. So I always try to stay awake. And I know a lot of you will probably say I'm crazy. Maybe I am, but that's just what worked for me in the past, and that's why I'm sharing this information with you guys. So I try to stay awake. I'll just do whatever it takes to stay awake, honestly, because then I have an easier time to actually acclimatize to a new time zone. So that's tip number 2. Sleep before the flight, but don't sleep during the flight. And it's really good to actually bring something that keeps you occupied, because I feel like when I'm just sitting there, I can't really sleep on a plane if I'm a passenger, to be honest. So if I'm just like sitting there and there's nothing to do, and maybe I've seen all of the movies that they show on an in-flight entertainment system and everything, then when I'm bored, I kind of feel way worse after a flight. So that's why I always bring something to occupy myself. Now let's continue with the next tip or trick. So the next tip or trick is, well, it actually starts before the flight. You have to eat healthy before the flight, because if you eat healthy, a lot of like protein, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, all of that, then you won't feel as bad during the flight and after the flight, if that makes sense. So if you have your vitamins in, usually your body is not like, you know how you feel after you eat like a huge pizza? Yeah, you don't want that feeling when you're on a plane, because you're gonna feel way more bloated in the air. And I know eating on a plane will give you something to do, but try to like make healthier meal choices if you have the option to do so, because that's actually gonna help your body adjust to the new time zone, you know? Because if you're stuffing your body with, I mean, carbs, I like carbs, I eat a lot of carbs, don't get me wrong, but if you're stuffing your body with like junk food and stuff, and that starts at the airport as well, then your body is just not gonna feel at its top, you know? Like, I get it when I actually go out for a burger, usually afterwards, I feel like I've eaten way too much and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just ate all of that, I'm so tired. And if you do that when you're flying, and you're flying to another destination with a time difference of, let's say, like 7 hours, then that's not gonna do any good, right? So that's why I would always suggest eating healthy before the flight, during the flight if possible, and also once you arrive somewhere. And it's really good if you actually adjust to the time zone that you're at. So if you want breakfast at, let's say, 3 p.m, sure, go ahead, do that, but it's probably not for the best, because your body thinks that it's morning when it's actually 3 p.m. So I would actually also eat at the times. I mean, I don't always eat at the times where I'd eat at home. I'll eat food during the night if I'm working, but if I'm a passenger, I try to actually stick to this stuff. Because if I'm working, I'm burning calories, you know, because I'm walking around. But if I'm just a passenger and sitting there, I'll try to actually eat at regular times, or let's say somewhat regular times, and not at like 3 in the morning. At the new destination, that is, not at the old destination, because you're trying to adjust to a new destination, right? That actually brings me to the next point, and my next point is to try and stay awake at least until 9 or 10 p.m. local time wherever you're going. So when I arrive, let's say in Hong Kong, I arrive at, let's say, 5 p.m. I will actually stay awake till 9 or 10 p.m, which is not too bad. I've been up the whole night, but then again, I'll be sleepy when I go to bed. But if I go to, let's say, the US and I arrive, let's say, at 3 p.m, then I'll still stay awake until like 9 or 10 p.m. And then if I go to, what's a good example? If I go to Tokyo and I arrive in the morning, then I'll still stay awake the whole day, and I'll stay up till like 9 or 10 p.m. So you're gonna be super tired after that, and that's the trick. So you're trying to make your body that tired that you're actually gonna sleep through the night. Because if I take a nap in between, that's just me personally. I mean, it might be different for you guys, but I never take naps. Not at home. I take naps on the plane when I'm on break, but otherwise I'm not taking naps. I'm just not a napping person, I guess. So the thing is, if I stay awake till the night, I know, again, you might call me crazy, because I might be up for like 24 or 30 hours, but then I'll really sleep and I'll get like, you know, like the rest that's actually refreshing, and you wake up relaxed and refreshed, and you can actually go out and do stuff on the next day. So that's one of my tips, to stay awake till at least 9 or 10 p.m. in whatever time zone you're at. Because if you do this, you actually adjust to the time zone, and then usually the next morning you're fine. Like the first day you might feel a little groggy on a day where you actually get to your destination because you've been up for so long, but then on the next day you're gonna be like a new human being, and you're just waking up and you're like, oh, it feels like I'm at home, you know? And that actually brings me to my next point. So on the day that you arrive, right after you arrive, you want to go outside. You want to go for a walk, you want to go into the fresh air, you want to go into a park or something, because that recharges you and it keeps you occupied. And all of that like sunlight, vitamin D and everything, it'll help you sleep better later. And also light exercise, like I wouldn't go like run a marathon or something once I arrive, but I'd go like walk at a faster pace, or I'd maybe go for a swim, or you can do yoga. Yoga is amazing because it relaxes you, and when I do yoga it usually helps me sleep better later. So yoga is a really good thing. So I'll go for a walk and then do yoga or something, or the other way around. So that really helps me a lot. So, or generally just light exercise. So if it's like super cold wherever you're going, you might not want to go outside, you know, but then actually turn the lights on so that you're awake, and then just do your workout, and just like a light workout, nothing too crazy, and it will actually help you sleep better, it will relax you, it will calm you down, and that also sort of prevents jet lag, you know? So those were my tips and tricks how I actually prevent jet lag as a flight attendant. I also use them whenever I'm flying as a passenger, which I do on a regular, as you guys know. And those have been really great for me. They have been working well for me. They might not work for you. You can give them a try, and if they don't work for you, then just don't do them anymore, you know? But they have been working well for me, and I hope that there was something new that you learned today. I have gotten questions about being tired, about being exhausted, or feeling jet lagged. And because of that, I felt like I should probably share whatever I do so that I prevent jet lag, because usually I don't really get jet lag. Like I mentioned before, whenever I have jet lag, yeah, it's usually my own fault, because I don't stick to those rules all the time, because maybe the crew wants to go out in Hong Kong and I go to bed at 6 a.m. and that would screw things up, as you guys know. But anyways, I hope you found this video informative. Let me know what other kind of content you want to see on my channel. If you have any suggestions, I'm always really glad that you guys give me some ideas for new videos. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure that you click on that subscribe button below, and also make sure that you click on the little bell icon, because otherwise you're not gonna get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in my next vlog.